Welcome to Sports Night in Auburn. I'm Vince Wolfram.
And I'm Alexa Johnsen. We've got a lot in store for you tonight. Many Auburn teams are headed into postseason, men and women's basketball, gymnastics, and equestrian. All that and more tonight on Sports Night in Auburn.
Looking back to 2 Saturdays ago, in the last game of the regular season, Auburn men's basketball got their revenge on Tennessee in a 79-70 win at home. This win secured their 5th 20-win season in 6 years. Here's Eagle Eye's Mikayla Kelly with the coverage from the game.
Senior night to remember. With heightened emotions and an NCAA tournament spot on the line, the Auburn Tigers defeated the Tennessee Volunteers 79-70 at home in Neville Arena. This comes a month after the Tigers lost to the Vols in Knoxville. It was a packed house for Auburn's final game of the regular season, and the Tigers were desperately ready for a win. Even Auburn basketball legend Charles Barkley made his way to the Plains for the matchup. Prior to the game, the 6 seniors were honored. This year's seniors include guard Chandler Leopard, guard Lior Berman, forward Babatunde Stretch Akingbola, guard Zep Jasper, forward Jalen Williams, and forward Alan Flanagan. Tennessee was first to put points on the board with a basket from Olivier Nakamoa. Jalen Williams quickly answered back with 2 to kick off his last home game. Williams would end the night with 13 points and lead the Tigers with 8 rebounds and 7 assists. Alan Flanagan joined in on the senior day fun with an early 3. Flanagan was 2 for 3 in 3-pointers and tallied up 16 points. Even Lior Berman had his shining senior moment. But today was in fact the Wendell Green show. Green racked up a team-high 24 points, including the clutch 3 he hit in the last few seconds of the first half to close the gap to a 4-point difference. The small but mighty junior ended the night with 4 assists and was 6 for 6 from the line. Joleigh Broom also added 17 rebounds and had 7 assists tonight. Scored the Vols 49-36 in the second half, and Tennessee missed their last 7 shots over the final 6 minutes. Zep Jasper led the defense, guarding Tennessee's star player, Santiago Vescovi, for most of the game. And in typical Flan Jam fashion, a major dunk in the last 21.6 seconds and 2 free throws sealed the win for Auburn. The Tigers have secured their 5th 20-win season in 6 years, and they finished 10-8 in SEC play.
Next up for the Tigers was the SEC tournament. The team entered as the number 7 seed, but the orange and blue did not make a long run in the tournament, falling to Arkansas 76-73 in the second round.
It was a tough one, but I tell you what though, it is the best time of year, March Madness, and your Auburn Tigers are going dancing. The Tigers earned a 9-seed spot in the NCAA tournament in the Midwest region. Bruce and the boys are scheduled to play tomorrow at 5:50 against 8-seed Iowa in Birmingham. This appearance marks the 12th all-time in the tournament and the 4th in the last 5 years. Auburn is 18-11 all-time in the Big Dance and 6-3 under head coach Bruce Pearl.
In other basketball news, junior guard Wendell Green Jr. and sophomore forward Joleigh Broom were named to the All-SEC second team. Green started in all 31 games this season and is 3rd in the SEC for assists, averaging 4.2 a game. In his first season in orange and blue, Broom recorded 9 double-doubles this season and ranks 10th nationally in blocking average with 2.4 blocks per game.
Nearly 2 weeks ago, Auburn women's basketball fell to Georgia in the second round of the SEC tournament 63-47. And just when they thought their season was over, the girls earned a bid to the 2023 postseason Women's NIT. Auburn was also selected to host the first round of the WNIT in Neville Arena. The Tigers will face Tulane in the first round on Friday at 7 p.m. on their home court. Auburn is 10-2 all-time at home in the WNIT with a 5-1 record at Neville Arena. This marks Auburn's first WNIT appearance since 2014 and the 6th appearance ever.
This past Friday, Auburn Gymnastics wrapped up their regular season with a win over Penn State. The number 9 Tigers recorded their 3rd highest score of the season, a 197.6, despite the fact that Suni Lee was not competing for personal health reasons. On her senior night, Cassie Stevens earned the all-around title with score of 39.525. Stevens also shared the bars and vault title with teammate Darian Goborn. While
Goborn's last floor routine ever at Auburn left Auburn fans in awe, it was sophomore Olivia Hollingsworth that won the floor title with a career-high 9.95. Coach Graba and the girls now have their sights set on the SEC championship that will be held on Saturday in Duluth, Georgia.
When we come back, we'll dive into baseball, softball, tennis, and golf. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn.
Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. This past weekend, Auburn baseball lost their first series of the season, going 1-2 against Southeastern Louisiana. The Tigers kicked off the weekend strong with a 7-1 win Friday night. Leading the way offensively was Cole Foster, who turned his second straight 4-hit game, drove in a season-high 4 runs, and hit a home run for the second time this season.
This momentum did not carry into Saturday's doubleheader, as Auburn dropped both games, the first game 8-3 and the second 8-7. However, the boys bounced back last night and after 12 innings of play finally took down Georgia Tech 12-11. Despite trailing 10-4 in the fourth innings, the Tigers outscored the Yellow Jackets 8-1 in the final 8 frames to secure the win in Plainsman Park. Butch Thompson and company are preparing to kick off conference play this weekend. Auburn will travel to Fayetteville for a 3-game series against number 3 Arkansas.
In similar fashion, Auburn softball kicked off their series with a win Friday night, but then dropped both games in Saturday's doubleheader. Number 18 Auburn kicked off SEC play this weekend in Athens, Georgia, but ultimately could not overcome the Bulldogs. Lindsey Garcia led the way to their first and only victory of the weekend, going 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. The Tigers took back Game 1 with a 12-9 comeback win.
But it was the Bulldogs who would go on to dominate on Saturday, winning Game 1 5-0 and Game 2 5-4, ultimately snagging the series. The Orange and Blue jump back into non-conference play this weekend in the Omni Hall of Fame Classic at the ASA Hall of Fame Stadium in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The Tigers are set to take on Weber State, number 24 Northwestern, and number 1 Oklahoma.
Auburn men's tennis had a busy past 2 weeks as they competed in 4 ranked matches. They started off strong and opened conference play with a W against Tennessee. The number 14 ranked Tigers defeated the number 13 Volunteers 4-3. This was the 8th consecutive victory for the Tigers. However, this was short-lived. The Tigers continued conference play at home against the Georgia Bulldogs, and the team suffered its first home loss to number 9 Georgia 6-1.
Unfortunately, the losing did not stop there. Auburn traveled to their first road conference match on Thursday to take on the other Bulldogs. Now ranked 15, the Tigers lost to number 18 Mississippi State in a close matchup 4-3. Taking a break from conference play, the team traveled to New Orleans, Louisiana on Sunday to compete in another ranked matchup. However, Auburn suffered another road loss 4-1 to number 41 Tulane.
Tough stretch.
Auburn looks to bounce back this week at home. The Tigers will first take on the number 6 ranked Kentucky Wildcats on Thursday. Then on Saturday, they will have a doubleheader against Ole Miss and Alabama State.
But apparently number 4 Auburn women's tennis does own the state of Mississippi. This weekend, the Tigers took down Ole Miss in a thrilling finish 4-3 and cruised past Mississippi State 7-1. In the match against the Rebels, Auburn's Ariana Arnasault, DJ Bennett, and Angela Akadiatoyi each contributed a singles win. The Tigers also won 2 out of 3 doubles matches.
Staying undefeated in conference play with their win over the Bulldogs, Auburn claimed 5 of the 6 singles matches as well as all 3 doubles matches. Following both victories this weekend, Auburn stays undefeated against SEC opponents at 3-0 and improves their overall record to 13-2.
During spring break, Auburn men's golf hosted the Tiger Invitational at Grand National in Opelika from March 5th to the 7th. The Auburn Tigers dominated and swept both the team and individual titles. They set a Tiger Invitational record with this 823 victory. In addition, the win goes down as the 3rd best in program history. This is the Tigers' 4th team title of the season. Junior Carson Baca won his first collegiate title as he secured first place. He also earned the SEC Weekly honor of Co-Golfer of the Week alongside Florida's Ryan Hart. This is Baca's first weekly conference recognition, but he is the 4th Tiger to earn this award this season.
That's what we like to hear.
Absolutely.
The team did not stop there. For the past 2 days, they have competed at the General Hackler Championship in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The number 5 ranked Tigers finished in 3rd place. This is the team's 6th top 3 placement out of 7 tournaments this season. 5 Auburn players finished in the top 25, including 3 in the top 10. Junior J.M. Butler secured his 12th top 10 finish of his collegiate career, tying the 8th best in program history.
Go.
Next, the team will have a bit of a break before they travel to West Point, Mississippi for the Mossy Oak Collegiate on April 3rd.
Auburn Auburn Equestrian is preparing for its postseason. The squad will travel to Blythewood, South Carolina for the 2023 SEC Championship. The meet will be held there from March 24th and 25th. The Tigers ended their regular season with a 14-4 win over South Carolina on Senior Day. When we come back, we'll discuss Auburn in the NFL and the NBA. You are watching Sports Night in Auburn.
Back to Sports Night in Auburn. Over the past 2 weeks, our favorite former Auburn Tigers have been showing up in the league and breaking records. Walker Kessler has the most blocks in the 2022 draft class with a whopping 147. He has 68 more blocks than the Minnesota Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert, who Kessler was traded for as one of the top 10 trade assets. In addition, Kessler also has 86 more blocks than the second-place player who has 61, who also happens to be our very own Jabari Smith Jr. Kessler also has the most rebounds with 538. Smith comes behind him in third place with 463 rebounds.
Speaking of Jabari, our other favorite NBA rookie is also making a name for himself. Jabari Smith Jr. was announced as the first teenager and youngest player ever in NBA history to have 3 straight games with 20 points and 10 rebounds. This includes a career-high game of 30 points and 12 rebounds against the Indiana Pacers. In his last 6 games, Smith has recorded double digits.
In the G League, Sharif Cooper is also breaking records. He is the 4th player in Cleveland Charge history to score over 900 points in a season. Today, he had 32 points against the Motor City Cruise. Cooper has scored 30 or more points in 10 games this season. Speaking
of Auburn in the pros, 3 former football Tigers signed new contracts during the start of the NFL free agency window. Former Auburn cornerback Jamel Dean re-signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He signed a 4-year deal for $52 million with $26 million guaranteed.
Another former Auburn cornerback also re-signed with his team. New England Patriot Jonathan Jones signed a 2-year deal worth $19 million with $13 million guaranteed. Lastly, former Auburn quarterback Jarrett Stidham looks to join his 3rd NFL team. After being drafted by the New England Patriots in 2019, then playing for the Las Vegas Raiders this past season, Stidham signed with the Denver Broncos. Stidham hopes to serve as the backup for Russell Wilson with a 2-year, $10 million deal with $5 million guaranteed.
Kind of money's awesome, isn't it? Well, that is all we have for you tonight. For more information on Auburn athletics, be sure to check out our website at eagleeyeauburn.com and by following our Twitter at EETV_sports. I'm Vince Wolfram.
And I'm Alexa Johnsen. Have a good night and War Eagle.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. I tried to sneak it in, you wouldn't let me. I was so